Hi everyone, my name is Meenakshi Sharma. I am the founder and organizer of the Glitterati Book Club. We read books regularly, almost every month, and we've been doing so since 2011. So I think we've gone a long way. So we recently read this very interesting book called Remarkably Bright Creatures, a novel by Shelby Van Pelt. What I found particularly interesting in this book is that the narrator, or a person who's kind of piecing the whole narrative together, is actually an octopus. And this got me thinking, such an interesting thing. And it's about, marine life and how this octopus, in some form, manages to bring together two or three stories, culminating in a kind of family reunion. While the suspense is not something very amazing, I think what it really does showcase so beautifully is this bond between humans, the environment, animals, and how there is some kind of a subliminal, messaging which says that if we nurture each other, there's always something good that's going to come out of it. So here's Marcellus, an octopus with a very limited lifespan, who has been caught from the Pacific and put into an aquarium. And this is a lady called Towa who cleans the aquarium and somehow develops this bond. Octopus itself, Marcellus particularly, loves these bright, shiny things and picks up a bunch of stuff and sends some sort of a messaging, which Marcellus continues to do later as well, because he needs to bring two people of a family together, especially since they both have undergone a tragedy. So we really loved the book, and it had so many layers. It also started a very interesting discussion on a documentary which is called Octopus My Friend. Beautiful documentary which we saw on Netflix, and which actually does talk about how intelligent an octopus is and how its brains are also in its tentacles, which I thought was again another amazing fact which we need to know. Someone also reminded me very interestingly that we didn't even realize that when the World Cup, there was this whole how Paul the octopus was predicting the winner. Was there any truth other than the mumbo jumbo that we've been believing, that they have the kind of instinct, this kind of a sixth sense of knowing what is what? Well, anyway, I think a lot of this is in the realm of fiction. However, what I would like to say is that here is a beautiful book called Remarkably Bright Creatures, and I'd really like to bring this book forward. So this book, Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt, is an amazing read, very easy, very interesting. And if you do decide to pick it up, do tell me in the comments if you liked it. Right, so with that, bye bye. This is the first edition of our book reviews, and I hope to continue doing it in the coming days. And I hope that you guys will give your feedback on what you think about these reviews. Bye bye.